It's a great pleasure to be here again today. Somebody asked me yesterday how long I've been involved in this project of Tolu, and I said, oh, it must be 2.5 years now. And my colleague said, no, you're talking rubbish. You've been involved in it for 21 years. And it's a great pleasure to be back again. I thank Chris for giving a broad overview of the geology that occurs in Papua New Guinea with the northeast transfer structures and so on. The Tolu area lies on exactly the same sort of structure. We have a series of north-south trending veins which cut across this northeast transfer structure. And it's in the center of that, we have a mining lease ML104, which acts as the control center for the exploration that we want to do. And I put a picture of the mine that's been closed now for 8 or 9 years, because we do have the infrastructure there, albeit that it needs quite a bit of refurbishment, which we're starting to undertake now that we've successfully listed the company back on the 10th of November. We have the gold processing plant, where we intend to refurbish, in the first instance, the gravity section, so that we can carry out, from underground development, we can carry out both face sampling and bulk sampling, which we will process through a gravity plant. I lead into where we're going. 2 days ago, on Monday, we put out a press release which spoke of an exploration target. We're talking of an exploration target of 2 to 3 million ounces at grades anywhere from 8 to 11 grams a ton. I urge you to read the cautionary statement at the bottom, because this is not a mineral resource, it's an exploration target. Part of that thinking in terms of the exploration target is we already have, through our independent geologist, we have an inferred resource of 503,000 ounces grading 10 grams a ton within the historic mine workings of Tolu. Those mine workings occur over a strike length of about 1 kilometre within a total strike length of anywhere up to 5 kilometres of identified veining. Initially, one of the reasons that the MRE was inferred is because the mine has been defunct now for 8 years, and the majority of the old workings are currently underwater. However, we've identified from the original access drive, which is at 1563 elevation, that there are 3 zones that we can get into almost immediately once we get power on and so on. So we actually don't even have to pump out anything that is sitting above 1563, and we can get into those zones very quickly. Moving south, with the mined area, over the life of the mine, it produced roughly 1 million ounces of gold. It currently has an inferred resource of 500,000. So you're looking at an endowment of at least 1.5 million in the first strike, 1 kilometre strike length of the zone. Immediately south of that, there are 3 virgin, totally unmined structures which were drilled from underground from 2004 till about 2007. They currently hold 133,000 ounces inferred, but open in all directions. moving south from that, there's another 2 kilometers of mining lease, which has the same geological structure of these north-south veins, which have, from there you can see the dominant north-south veins with numerous cross structures typical of an epithermal mineralized system. So we believe there's a very big potential to increase the resource in the southern portion of our mining lease, and then moving south into the exploration EL 2531. So together, those areas we believe has an exploration target of 2 to 3 million ounces. I mentioned the initial resource. We have the 3 zones where we've identified that there are existing resources which are not flooded and which we can get into very quickly, which are the Tinnabar top, the Xenia top, and the Gulbadi, all sitting above 1563. Sorry, I'm going backwards. A week ago, we put out a press release highlighting one of the deposits that I've just mentioned, immediately south of the historic workings, called the Fundut deposit. It is typical of these epithermal structures. It has a strike length, mineralized strike length currently of about 250 meters and a vertical extent of about 380 meters. But the thing about it is that we drilled 40, these are historic boreholes, by the way, but out of 45 drill holes, more than 30% intersected economic widths at grades greater than 10 grams a ton. Now that's quite phenomenal. And there are grades being shown there anywhere up to 80, 100 grams a ton over a meter or a meter and a half. So for us, that's very exciting. We can access the majority of this without having to dewater the entire mine. We can be in there very quickly. Just to reiterate the exploration target of 2 to 3 million ounces, 3DIP geophysics confirms the continuation of the mineralized structures south of the existing mine workings. The mine workings were shown in red and white. The 3DIP extension to the south for another 3 odd kilometers is shown in purple. And you can see the very strong correlation of the mineralized structures with what was mined historically. One of those prospects that we have in the southern section of the mining lease is called the Miliamba-Kunda target. A number of trenches were excavated back in 2001, 2002, and a few shallow drill holes were put in. That was based on surface rock chips from discovery outcrop of anywhere up to 1,043 grams per ton in rock chip. A number of trenches exceeded 1 meter to 2 meters at 20 odd grams a ton. Again, this area needs a lot more exploration, but we believe it will contribute greatly to the future of Tolu minerals. To the east of ML 104, we have the Saki project, on which there's a maiden resource of about 128,000 ounces at 2 grams. 2 grams is not the sexiest in this environment, but what excites us is that we're getting trench results also where we have anywhere from a metre exceeding 100 grams a tonne. And that's, you have a swarm of these structures running through parallel to the Tolu system, and which we believe will give us great joy in the future. How are we going to do it? Well, the previous mining operation relied on helicopter-borne support. We have recently awarded a contract to a local PNG contractor to build a road. That road is now commenced, and we expect the road to be completed in around about 6 to 8 months' time. That road will effectively eliminate the need for helicopter support. At the height of the previous mine's production, we had on permanent charter 2 big Russian helicopters with a load capacity of 4 tons each, plus a smaller helicopter for passenger services. And it was one of the largest helicopter-supported operations in the Southern Hemisphere. Today, we cannot afford to run that kind of operation. We have to replace it with a road. And of course, the road is going to open up the place for the local community. Regionally, we've surrounded the farm being ML104, we've surrounded the farm very strongly, as have K9 too, with exploration licenses where previous exploration has identified not only numerous gold prospects, but also copper-gold porphyry targets. And those areas will use the Tolu base as a means of being able to explore them rather than having to operate from Port Moresby. And that just illustrates a few of these targets. You have the Atasi copper porphyry target in the south-west. You have the Kono target in the north, and you have the Daikoku target in the east. These are all prospects which have had previous exploration done on them, but nothing has been carried out for the last 15 years. Moving on to our other major project, which is at Mount Pank in New Britain. Again, this lies within a corridor that's been extensively explored in the past, with some 11,000 meters of drilling, numerous trenches, a lot of surface sampling and mapping. And we, again, believe that with diligent exploration, with smart exploration, that we will start to produce the goods at Mount Pank. And given all of that, I'd like to say it's great to see you all again, and Em Tasol, and thank you very much.